Hola amigos! Welcome back to Eating with Andy. On this episode, I'm gonna show you how to make one of Peru's favorite staples, Arroz con Pato, or Peruvian rice with duck. The preparation with duck is traditional in Northern Peru, and it's my favorite version of this dish as it's also made with chicken. It's a coriander rice like a pilaf with exceptional flavor that's served with sliced duck breast and some salsa criolla. So, let's get started. Let's start by making the hero of the dish, that rice. Blend 1 coriander bunch with some water and a pinch of salt. In a saucepan, heat 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil on medium-low and saute the onion with some salt until soft and translucent. Then add the garlic and cook for another minute. Now add the cumin and the yellow chili paste. Cook for a couple of minutes. Increase your heat to medium-high and deglaze with 1 cup of Guinness beer. The malty hints of that dark beer will add an incredible depth of flavor to the dish. Let that cook for a few more minutes. Time to add our blended coriander. Let that cook for a couple of minutes, then add the chicken stock. This is when you want to check the seasoning. Don't worry if it tastes a bit bitter at this stage, that's just the beer. Add some salt and ground black pepper. I would actually recommend adding a bit more salt than normal because we're going to be adding lots of vegetables. Add your rice, which we've rinsed under cold water to get the starch out, to prevent it from getting gummy while it cooks. Now the capsicums, carrots, peas, and corn. Bring this to a boil. Stir and turn your heat to low. Cover it and let it cook for 15 to 20 minutes. While our rice is cooking, let's work on our duck. I've tried many different methods and this is the best way to cook duck breast. It's the cold pan method, where we render the fat starting with a cold pan and then finish it off in the oven. Follow these steps and you'll get perfectly medium rare duck every single time. Pat dry the duck and score the skin with a sharp knife in a crisscross pattern while it's still cold. Be careful not to cut through the meat. Generously salt both sides, especially the skin side. We're gonna let it come to room temperature before cooking it, which should take around 15 minutes. I'm using an oven-proof frying pan because we're gonna be popping this in the oven. If your pan has a plastic handle, that's okay. Just use an oven tray, just make sure it's nice and hot by placing it in the oven. Once your duck has come to room temperature, place it skin side down in a cold pan. Turn the heat to medium. You want to crisp up the skin nice and slowly, driving out as much fat as possible. Cook on the first side for around 6 to 8 minutes. If you're cooking more than 1 breast at a time, your pan will have filled with a substantial amount of duck fat. That's liquid gold. Save that to roast some potatoes. Yum! Okay, so once the skin is a very dark golden brown, Flip it and cook it for another minute and place it in the oven. We're going to roast it for 7 minutes. Remove the duck breast into a cutting board and let it rest uncovered for 5 minutes because you don't want the condensation to compromise that crispy skin. Our rice is ready. Fluff it up with a fork. Now to our salsa criolla, which is the perfect accompaniment to this dish. Place the thinly julienned onion in cold water with some ice cubes for 5 minutes to remove the bitterness and to keep it nice and crunchy. Drain the water and add the lime juice, olive oil, coriander, and I'll be using 2 bird's eye chilies because I like it spicy. We have this salsa in so many of our dishes and it's up to you how hot you want it to be. Finish with some salt and pepper. That rice is so good, you can just eat it on its own. That depth of flavor you get from that beer, it's almost earthy. Oh my, and that duck is cooked to perfection. It has that crispy skin and a rosy interior that's succulent and super tender. Having it all in one mouthful, a bit of the duck, the rice, and that salsa criolla, whoa, that combination is unbelievable. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one. See you again next week. Adios, amigos.